Hello and welcome to the Sisters for Fitness Wellness Show. I'm Stephanie Gaines-Bryant. Our guest today is Moronda McMillan, and she is a health coach and a life coach,
Yes.
and also a skincare specialist.
Yes, I am.
Today we're talking health,
Yes, we are.
and I want to let everybody know I've known you for quite some time, for a couple of years. You have been a yoga student of mine for quite a while. And recently, or a couple of years ago, you did a detox
Yes.
for me.
Yes.
And you put my feet.
Ionic foot bath. Detox.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. Describe what you did.
Okay. So the ionic foot bath detox actually helps pull toxins out of your body through the bottom of your feet. We have more than 2,000 pores in the bottom of our feet, and it uses osmosis like a magnet through your bloodstream to pull as your blood moves through every organ of your body, and when it gets in the water, which is use sea salt as a conductive, and it will start to pull toxins out of your body. And during the process, because of the pull, you may feel a little tingly, you might get a little lightheaded, but each organ is represented. And so in the water, it's always going to have a amber color because of the array mixing with the water. But what happens is that as it pulls and it pulls things from your organs, like your gallbladder, your kidneys, with the trained eye, I can actually tell. So bubbling is going to pull from the lymphatic system. It will also get a haze over it. And sometimes I'll ask a person, without even knowing, I'll say, "How's your cholesterol?" And they'll go, "Oh," and I'm like, "Yeah, I can tell." It's so interesting. And then black, your liver, black specks is from the metal debris, environmental issues, everything that's in our as we're driving in our cars, as we're walking, we intake so many different toxins, and we don't even realize it, just picking up papers, just everything. And so they penetrate our skin because we're porous, and all of those things, poor eating habits. We already know how our foods are so many different. They use antibiotics. That's why pesticides, things like that don't necessarily agree with our bodies.
So what's the importance of making sure that you remove these toxins?
Well, if you want to be healthier and remove illnesses and disease orders, things like that, you want to be healthy and you want to detox and you want to cleanse your body on a regular basis.
And so with each person, something different might come out. You've got
Everybody's
one
different.
client and you'll see this, another client you'll see that, another client you'll see a combination of things.
Right.
How does that work?
Exactly.
Is it the thing that's most prominent, the most prominent health issue that comes out?
It is the most prominent, the one that's the most of. So if I see your water and then it's there's a lot of grayish, blackish, greenish, and then I say, okay, that may be hormonal issues. And then sometimes some younger women may be on their cycle and that's coming out. So your hormones, everything is connected together. Your hip bone is connected to your, leg bone or whatever. And so all of these things play a part in your overall well-being. So when one thing is out of order, typically there's something else, right? Because we have to stay in line and in balance with ourselves. So we want to go through our lymphatic system. It's actually supposed to help pull that out. So when I see that, okay, I see the little bubble, so it's working. And then everything else comes from there.
And also with the lymphatic system, it's different from the heart, where the heart is a muscle that helps the blood flow through your body. With the lymphatic system, you have to do some things to kind of move.
It's a carrier, yes.
To move things out of your body.
Right. So with your lymphatic system, lymphatic massages, jumping helps stimulate your lymphatic system because you go up and you go down, and so it's going to pull, it's going to open and it's going to pull. So when you jump rope, things like that actually truly helps. I also have a vibration plate That thing is wonderful. It's like the old-fashioned where they had the belt and
Yes.
it does that. So that helps stimulate all your hormones, your good hormones. It tightens your body. It's
So
amazing.
What's in water?
So
when you
in the
put
the water, basically, I use sea salt as a conductor. A lot of people like to go to the ocean, and the ocean is very cleansing, and it has that same effect. The seawater, as it enters your pores, is going to help pull those toxins out. Older people used to love to go to the ocean and walk and just get in the ocean because it is healthy before it got very contaminated. But it is very healthy. You have the ionic pools and of energy. It's just like when you go to like Niagara Falls and that gushing, that energy that's coming down, you want to have that, mimic that same ionic pool and help pull those things out of your body.
So how often should you do this?
You should, depending on if you want to relieve some type of illness. The ionic foot bath that I use is by Healthier Living for You. John Jacobs out of Canada, his wife became ill and he was a mechanic, and she did a foot bath, but he tweaked it because he was a mechanic and came up with the array and so forth that just tweaked it, made it stronger, and she is better now. They're living a wonderful life. Prior to her doing the foot bath, she became ill, lethargic, and didn't know what was going on. But if you get on a regular routine, you can do it 24, 72 hours, 3 times a week for up to 3 weeks, and then you might want to do a maintenance monthly, just to keep you on top of your body, just like everything else. If you're doing facials, you should do your facials monthly. Just total skin care, dry scrubbing, removing dry layers of skin so your body can breathe. In the winter, we don't get enough sunlight. So another thing is when you're going to detox or cleanse your system, then you want to do all the things to put in vitamin D because of the sunlight that we're missing in the winter.
What are some of the side effects? I remember after you did my foot bath, and when we did it, I wasn't feeling very well. I felt like I was coming down with a cold or the flu. And afterwards, I felt worse.
Right.
I was like, what did you do to me?
I remember.
And so I went to my primary care physician, and she told me the same thing you told me. What did you tell me?
So basically, if there's anything lying dormant in your system, it's going to help pull it out. You want it out. It's going to help pull it out. So therefore, you may, like I said, get dizzy. All your congestion will come out. I had a client that while she was doing it, she was like, oh my God, my nose is normally stopped up, but I am breathing through both nostrils right now. This is amazing. So some people just immediately feel like arthritis just come out. Just like, oh my God, I can just really feel it just being pulled out of my body.
What's the importance of being hydrated?
Hydration, when you're doing the detox, because hydration, you need to we need to have the hydration so that our organs are properly hydrated so that they work better. We want our skin to be hydrated so that it looks better, you feel better. Hydration is just like putting gas in a car. It is what we need to survive. Our body is a certain percentage of water, and we need to maintain that water in our bodies in order for us to just operate, think clearly, move clearly. If you're drinking water, you should also drink alkaline water on a basis. The higher the alkaline, better. Not all the time, but you should incorporate alkaline water and alkaline foods into your diet on a regular basis.
Now, we hear a lot about detox and cleansing. What's the difference between the two?
Okay, so the difference between the two, a detox basically is going to cleanse your digestive system. And then when you're doing a cleanse, it's very systematic because you're dealing with all of your organs. So you do a detox. People say, well, I'm going to detox because I want to lose weight. I've been eating too many sweets. I want to get that sugar out of my system. I've eaten too much meat. Meat doesn't work, for me. I want to get all of that out of our system. Because, when we eat, if you're not having a regular bowel movement, every time you eat, you should be releasing. And if you're not having regular bowel movements for each time you ate something, then that's a problem. You're probably not hydrated enough. You're probably not having enough fiber in your diet. So the old saying, your vegetables are key.
So the process of cleansing is different. How is that? How is that different? And I'm sure there's like a lot of different ways to cleanse. Can you take us through what the process is?
So when you do a cleanse, depending on, there's different types of cleanses. Some people will do like fasting for one. You can do a fast, and right now intermittent fasting is very popular. Okay, so when you fast, you may just only do a water fast. Okay, and water cleanse, and that's just, some people just only do juices just to get the nutrients, and you just drink those. Some of them are up to 6-7 times a day, including your water. Some people are doing just different types of cleanses that involve liver cleansing, kidney cleansing, lung cleansing, just different things. So every day when you get up in the morning, you should just, if you don't pray or meditate or whatever, just sit quietly and just breathe in, and release. You should do this actually in the evening and in the morning, if not 3 or 4 times throughout the day. You just want to breathe in. It's cleansing. It's cleansing your lungs, and the release. And it also releases things that do not serve you. You know, stress. Just when you just take a few minutes, and we're going to breathe in, and you hold it, and then you just release. And you just feel the difference right there. You feel the difference. You know, our oxygen is so important.
Absolutely.
To our bodies, right?
Also, there are cleansings that deal with the colon. Tell us about those.
So when you're cleansing the colon, and at a certain age, we all know you're supposed to do that colonoscopy.
Yes.
But people develop polyps and various things like that.
Especially in the 50s.
In our beautiful ages, in our fine and fabulous 50s, right?
Yes.
And so by you doing a colon cleanse, anything that can get lodged in pockets within our intestines, it's not good. Those pockets, and that's why people have diverticulitis, inflammation and things. You need to, things are rotting inside our intestines. And so if you're not doing a proper cleanse and removing that waste out, it has to flush. You know, there's different stages of or types of, I would say, poop. You know, your poop should always flow.
What should your poop look like?
Right. So your poop should actually be almost like a caramel color. It shouldn't be real dark, and it shouldn't be real light. It should be just like a light caramel color.
And it shouldn't be hard.
And it should not be hard. It should not be hard. That's constipation. You either have IBS or some type of stress, something going on within your stomach. Your stomach really is like your second brain. We don't give that enough thought, because we truly are what we eat and what we ingest. And in our gut, we hold so much stresses, and it affects everything. It affects your skin. It affects the way you move when you eat certain things. This is why when you eat certain things, I know for me and menopausal, anything with sweets, when I eat it, I just have a hot flash, right? I have a hot flash. So, you know, everything is tied to your stomach. And if your stomach is not healthy, and I like to take a functional approach to everyone that I see, I'd like to ask them, are there any type of orders or disorders or diseases or anything that you're dealing with? I like to find out what type of medications that you're on, because all of it is relevant in our skin health.
And a lot of times, the combination of medicines that we're using can have a negative impact.
Exactly.
So how often should you do the for example, a colon cleansing? And what would you say to the people who say, well, your body's a natural cleanser. So you don't need
Well,
all that.
sometimes we need help, right? Because of processed foods, right? Things like that, even if it's not processed and you're going to just think you're getting just regular meat and so forth, well, you have to think if you're not getting meat that's naturally pasteurized, you have to think of how it's processed, how those cows or chickens are housed, and the things that they're fed. You know, nowadays there's so many pesticides, there's so many antibiotics, things that they're putting in the foods for growth. I was just having a conversation with someone that our cows don't look like cows in other countries. Our cows look like goats or something, and when you see them in another country, you're like, oh my goodness, what is wrong with that? Well, that's how it should look. We beef up, no pun intended, those animals because we want them to be able to provide more food. You know, you want the largest steak, you want the largest slab of ribs. And so in order to do that, for them to be meaty, they have to give all these things growth hormones, which again are affecting our children. You know, our children are maturing in certain areas that shouldn't be. Well, if they're giving this to these animals and we in turn are giving it to our children, what do we expect? What do we expect? So it's eventually going to cause our children to develop more, to be larger in certain areas. So if we could, the best thing to do is for us all to, and I don't own or know anyone, but we should really consider just going back to more natural eating, growing our own food. I do like to garden. Like right now they say, well, we're going into the fall and the winter. Well, there are things that you can grow during this season. There are indoor, the aerial type of plants. You can do your herbs. If you can't do anything else, try to do your herbs. You will be amazed at the taste. Because remember, when you're drying out something, it loses some of the taste. But when you start to use fresh produce and fresh products, it just brings life to your food. And our bodies were really not designed to continually eat dead things. And that's the thing with the cleanse. When it sits and rots in our stomach, that's not good. So anything that rots, you know, it grows, you know, like a fungus. So we want to get that out. We want to clean that out. You want to be drinking water, drink your waters. You want your, if you just can do lemon, squeeze lemon, because
And what's the benefit of that?
Lemon, because of its acidity, it's going to help flush and replenish.
So do you recommend, if someone decides they want to do a detox or a cleansing, do you recommend home methods, or do you recommend you definitely need to see a professional before you do that?
Depending on what your concern is, there's lots of, and then your budget as well. We have to honor that. A lot of the things you can pick up at the grocery store. Some of the times when we need more fiber, we need certain types of fibers for our bodies. So depending on that, like some people say, oh, well, I just take Metamucil every day. Well, Metamucil may not be right for one person, so therefore they may need to do something else, right? And a lot of these things still are not soluble fibers, and we want the soluble fibers so that it penetrates and it releases and lets go. Some of the synthetic type of fibers, they don't do that. They're not doing what we really think they're doing. And a lot of our illnesses are related to we're lacking in our nutrients. We don't have all the proper nutrients. Again, if our animals their design is to graze and they're not able to graze, that will affect them, and it stunts them and their DNA, because they have 4 legs, right? God gave them 4 legs, so that means they are to roam the earth, as the Bible says. They should be roaming the earth. They should not be caged in. They should not be caged in. So just that very thing causes problems for them, you know. And then we in turn want to eat them. Chickens, they're caged too. If you eat chicken, there are also the fish. There's you should eat fresh fish out of the ocean. You know, they're doing farm raised. Farm raised is not good. Again, so many things that are held in is really not serving us. You know, we should be free. I love to say, be happy, be well, be free.
What are some of the consequences if you, for example, buy a kit at the drugstore to do a cleansing?
I don't think there's any consequences to it. You just need to read the instructions, do it properly. A lot of times we just open something up and like the magnesium citrate, a lot of people will say, okay, I need a laxative, so I'm just going to drink this. Well, that can be very dehydrating and damage your organs. So you don't want to do that. You want to follow, you want to have some good instruction and always talk to your healthcare provider about what you're doing and how you're detoxing.
That's good
advice. You're deplenishing your proper nutrients, and then you're dehydrated, you're lethargic, you know, you have headaches. There's a lot of things that can happen when you don't cleanse and detox properly.
What are some of the things that you can do as far as skincare is concerned, especially certain conditions such as diabetes? You may end up with dry skin. How often should you do things like, what is it called, when, not a peel, but where...
So one of the things that, as I mentioned before, is dry brushing. Brushing your skin. Brush it, and when you do that, you stimulate your lymphatic system. Okay. When you wash and cleanse your face, you may need to do it twice. You need a cleanser, a creamy cleanser, and then a regular cleanser. Because when you wear your makeup, just going ahead and washing your face, you know, a lot of times when you have your makeup on and you wash your face, you wash it once, nothing comes off. You wash it again, nothing comes. So you find yourself washing it several times. So you would want one that's going to put a cleanser that's putting back in, and then a cleanser that's actually stripping and removing. And then you're going to follow up with a toner. Toner helps to lock in and secure, and also you're going to moisturize. You should be doing that twice a day, in the morning and in the evening.
How important is moisturizing?
Moisturizing is very important.
Because I don't know if you remember as kids, you know, we teased the kids who were quote unquote ashy.
Yes,
What is the importance, especially with African American skin, with making sure that you're moisturized?
Okay. So your skin is our largest organ, and we want to, in order for it to operate properly, we need to have it moisturized. Our skin, being our largest organ, protects everything on the inside. So if you notice, a lot of times when people are ashy, they have cracks in their skin.
Yes.
So we want to keep that skin tight. But when it's not, and it lacks elasticity, then therefore it's breaking down. And when it breaks down, things can penetrate in. So yes, when Mama used to grease us up, our face, like winter, if you had to walk to school.
Yes.
Grease us up, Vaseline, put that on, put your hat on. It's a protectant.
My mother used to put so much Vaseline on my legs Easter. We'd have to walk to church. The dirt would stick to my legs because she put so much, but it was important to her. That's how she had learned to moisturize, and that's what she passed on to us.
Right. And here's the thing that we miss. In moisturizing, God gave us so much on this earth that we don't take advantage of. So many plants that have natural oils in them. Olive oil, it's the olive branch, it's pressed. God put that here. And it absorbs. It's a wonderful moisturizer. A lot of times if you feel like all these expensive moisturizers, I don't know, just get you cosmetic grade olive oil. That's really good.
What about the coconut oil?
Yes, the coconut oils are good as well. It just depends on your preference. I feel like coconut oil, it absorbs, it's good. I myself, I have shea butters that I make, and I mix in with them. I use shea butter, I use cocoa butter.
I'm a shea butter girl.
I have my secret ingredients, and a lot of people really just love it.
So it doesn't have to be expensive.
It doesn't have to be expensive.
Because they've got this, and there's
Right.
so much to choose from.
There's so much to choose from. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
My daughter used to just get a big tub of the coconut oil, like that you can get
Get
in
in the grocery
BJ's.
store.
Yeah.
Yes, 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 exactly.
And use it instead of it having to be some kind of fancy name product or whatever.
You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. And it goes a long way. And there's little secrets to making it last longer as well.
Such as? Give us one.
I can tell you. Well, actually blending them, when you blend it like cocoa butter, and what I have, I use cocoa butter and shea butter and blend it. And then I actually mix in olive oil. And there's some other things that I mix in as well. And
The only thing with olive oil is that scent would bother me.
well, then you can put a scent over it. We have all these essential oils. You can put yang yang, all the oils, you can put those over it to give it a nice, fresh scent.
Okay, because when you said olive oil, I love olive oil in my cooking, but I'm
But
like,
you know what?
Go
See,
ahead.
the cosmetic grade doesn't have that. There's different types. There's an olive oil that you can use with your salads that's light.
Yes.
And then there's the dark green one as well. And that has the heavier smell
Scent.
to it.
Yes. So in wrapping up our discussion, we've got a minute left. What is your advice to people who are considering either doing a cleansing or a detox?
You should do both. Now is the time, the season, as we're changing seasons, is a very good time to detox.
Why?
Because of the shift in the atmosphere, things are changing. We're preparing for the winter, so you want to do things to build up your immune system in the detox. You want to cleanse all that don't serve you and prepare your body for the new.
Very good, very good. And
Thank
also, as we prepare our skin for the winter, what should we do as well?
Same thing. You have to scrub, release, use antioxidants, peptides, things like that, that's going to help replenish what's being stripped. And with anti-aging, we lose elasticity. So we actually, we want to put those things back in that tighten our skin.
And I wish Mark could do a close-up. Your skin is absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you. Thank you. And I do say I owe that to more natural products, hydration, and you should see my mother.
I would say something, but something, there's a saying that our skin, it lasts.
It lasts.
It
It
lasts.
lasts.
And
It
I
lasts.
thank you so much for joining me
Thank
this
you.
morning
Thank
for the
you so
Sisters
much
for
for
Fitness
having
Wellness
me.
Show.
Thank you.
We've been talking to Moronda McMillan, and she is a skincare specialist as well as a health coach.
Yes, I am.
You've been watching the Sisters for Fitness Wellness Show. I'm Stephanie Gaines-Bryant. Enjoy the rest of your day.